want to move on. Derek, going to kind of come back to you first on our next one here. 3 stories in a segment I like to call Rokita, Morales, or both. So, this week, 21 attorney generals added their signatures to a letter penned by Indiana AG Todd Rokita to express support for eliminating DEI requirements for federal contractors. Earlier this year, the Department of Labor proposed rescinding affirmative action requirements for companies that work with the federal government, something the attorneys general said the Department of Labor should do quickly. Rokita said the following in his letter, quote, "The federal government has no right to mandate affirmative action plans that prioritize ideology over merit. These regulations promote unlawful discrimination, undermine true equal opportunity, and needlessly burden employers. Federal contractors should hire based on skill and experience, not political agendas." Derek, can you parse what Rokita's really saying there?
We want to hire just really, really light brown skinned people. No, what is DEI? What's wrong with diversity, inclusion, equity? It scares a lot of extreme right wing people that these people are not like us. We need to be scared of these people. And I'm very much a merit based person myself, but if you put, and scientific studies have shown this, if you put 2 people, one white, one black, one brown, or put 3 people, most people are going to go towards what color skin they are. It's human nature to do that. If everything else was equal. And that's what DEI tries to get around or stop from happening, is we need different points of view in everything that we do. It can't just be whitewashed. And that's what we're trying to stop from happening.
Very good points there, Derek. Tribalism is kind of part of human nature. And especially with these folks like Rokita and these other Republican attorneys general, they think white equals competent. And they think anybody else is incompetent by definition, because let's just say it, they're racists. But Derek makes a very good point, because and Tracy, I'm gonna take this up to someone in your area. Here's State Rep Earl Harris Jr. from East Chicago. He says,
love him.
DEI. Yeah, he says DEI is about merit, and that's what employers want. They want to hire the best. So why would we make it so hard that it makes it harder for them to get access to the best? Furthermore, here's a quote from, I don't have a first name here, but this is a Reverend Green.
David
Also says, thank you, Trish.
You're welcome.
If you put something in place that creates less competition, you're not going to save money. The data shows from DEI that a lot of the minority companies are able to do it cheaper. If we go back to the good old boys network, we're not going to be, quote unquote, saving money. Tracy, what do you think? Good point?
It's an excellent point. We all really know what's going on here. It is exactly what it looks like. They inbred tribalism run amok and let out. Like, if I once listened to, this is going to be a little bit of a wild tangent, but like I once listened to this podcast where they talked about somebody who talked about if they could go back in time and change their genetics to reassure your body that something is not going to happen, they would pick, I'm not going to starve, which would solve the obesity epidemic. And then I would add in tribalism, getting rid of the ingrained human instinct to create in and out groups. how much of our society would be improved by removing that instinct? And the other thing to consider up here is it's DEI, it's not just, black and brown people that are impacted by these hiring practices. DEI initiatives also help to hire people that have other disabilities, intellectual disabilities, physical disabilities. I have two autistic kids. If there's a world where they could be incredibly relevant and impactful in the workforce, but sometimes they need minor accommodations. Our DEI initiatives help pay for that. So it's not just about skin color, it's about who are we including in the table in our society, and why are we making it more difficult to utilize all the different viewpoints and skill sets that these different groups bring.
Yeah, white women have been the largest beneficiaries of DEI programs
Oh yeah.
because well, it's like let's look at what Rokita is saying here, Trish, and I tell me if I'm right. I think what they're saying is, look, we just want to hire who we know are the best. I mean, these are obviously it's like they're like political donors and their friends and stuff, and this is who Republicans want to give like state contracts to. And when you have things like affirmative action and DEI, makes you puts a process in place that says, hey, wait, slow down, let's look at everybody and see if someone else here who is just as capable can do it for cheaper, right? It sounds like DEI is a good way to save money, to be efficient as a government, to spend wisely. I thought Republicans liked these things.
No, 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 they don't. And I think back as we're talking about this because often my mind goes to the big construction projects, the highway projects, the things where the real money is. And I think about the substandard concrete that was used on I-65. That was not a minority contractor. They were not the ones that did that part of the work. They had some other supplemental part of the job, the little cheesy part, but it was the good old boy network that had the big contract that used that substandard contract concrete. So
Oh,
yeah, yeah, there's a lot going on. So I know that minority contracting has really been a boom to Southern Indiana because of, I don't know if you all know the Thomas family down there, big contractors, and they now are so big they wouldn't need to have a DEI thing because they are, playing in the big pool. But the thing is, they've brought so many benefits to Southern Indiana, which brings me to my last comment about DEI, which is now the term rural, RURAL, is considered a DEI designation. And so we're going to get rid of programs that are supposed to focus on people who live out in the country. So
Yeah, exactly.
run amok. Well, and part of it, real quick, is it costs more to help people in sparsely populated areas. That's just an economic fact of life. But this is, we want to save the money for all the rich people who live in Indianapolis or, wherever they live. And we're not going to do what needs to be done to support somebody who's different from us, big city people who, have everything going for us.
that's
That's
another
Yeah.
interesting one, Trish. Like I didn't realize that DEI initiatives folded in rural outreach.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
wonder.
This is what we
Down
talked
here,
about here, yeah, on the show before, like the like rural broadband programs that have been canceled by the Trump administration. It
Yep.
was about equity, and because they cut out these DEI programs,
Right.
they wind up hurting rural populations as well. Definitely a case of shooting yourself in the foot.